Right guys, welcome to this week's episode of This Week in BFW, and we have a lot to cover from this week. I think we're 2 weeks out from the Royal Rumble now, at least since it premiered, and we got a lot of matches to announce. You may have seen a match card go up earlier, and this is the week where all of the matches were pretty much set up. So yeah, let's just get right into it. So up first we had, your standard live event match. Buddy Murphy took on Rich Swan. Rich Swan had a cruiserweight title match at Money in the Bank in 2018, and he got injured then, and he just hasn't been seen since. Cool little springboard off the top rope, hit with a knee. Rich Swan looking for a cutter, and then Murphy going for the dive, and then just a kick to the inside. Murphy looking strong over the past few weeks with big wins over different cruiserweights. Rich Swan managed to hit a cutter there. Rich Swan's really fun to pose around. Definitely want to use him more. Caught with a knee there off the 450, and then Murphy rolling him over with a kick to the back, and then finishing him off with the Murphy's Law. So then Buddy Murphy picks up another impressive win, but this is not the last of Buddy Murphy we will see on this episode. As you will see soon, he had a lot of other involvements during the week. Up next guys, we had Seth Rollins come out to explain the events that happened at the Royal Rumble. Obviously him and Ambrose lost the tag titles, and he said both of them are to blame. He then called out Ambrose, and then he said clearly they have different methods of teaming up, and he said Dean's unhinged, he doesn't trust, he took full control and that's why we lost, but Seth should have done something about it. Then Dean said, you know why I didn't want to tag with you, Seth? Because I don't trust you. If you remember a few weeks ago when the Revival shattered Roman's knee, Seth was nowhere to be seen. And he said him and Roman worked really hard to get those titles, and then if you want to earn that trust back, we'll have to get our tag titles back. So they will have a match at Armageddon against the Revival, and there will be something else that we'll get into to do with that match. Up next guys, we had another live event match. We had Aiden English with Rusev take on Finn Balor. I believe this is actually Aiden English's first ever BFW singles match. He may have had a tag match or two, I can't really recall any, maybe a Battle Royal, I honestly have no idea. But yeah, Finn Balor entered the Rumble as the Demon, obviously, and he's obviously just wrestling as Finn Balor here. Aiden with a dropkick sending Balor to the outside, looking for the springboard DDT, connects. Balor with a shotgun dropkick over the top rope, but Aiden lands on Rusev's shoulders, but then Finn Balor with a sunset flip over the top rope, and Finn Balor finishing off Aiden English as expected with the Bloody Sunday. So Finn Balor picking up another win. You see guys, I was not lying when I said we had a lot of matches to cover. Here we had a Ronda Rousey match versus Carl Anderson, and if Ronda wins she would face Dolph Ziggler at Armageddon for the Intercontinental Championship. If you guys remember last week, Dolph Ziggler laid out Kurt Angle after he retained his title against him, and then Ronda came to the aid to save her friend. Ronda there locking in an armbar on Carl Anderson, looking for the Piper's Pit, turned into a cutter right onto Ronda Rousey, drilling her into the mat. Anderson looking for a little drop kick, Ronda into a suplex, and then with a Irish whip into the ropes with a spine buster reversed into an armbar, and Anderson is forced to tap. So then Ronda Rousey will get her match against Dolph Ziggler at Armageddon for the Intercontinental Championship. Okay, so bear with me for the next segment. I really don't have the time to go through and edit all these clips to show when I'm talking about it, so I'll just give a quick recap about what happened. Miz TV returned with The Miz, who returned at the Rumble. He had Apollo on. Him and Miz and Apollo had some confrontation about the Rumble and what they've been doing in BFW, called The Miz a quitter and stuff like that, and said Apollo won't win at Mania. Drew McIntyre interrupted and said he did all the handiwork for him in the Rumble as Drew got the most eliminations, and then he laid out Apollo after Apollo had a comeback. Pete Dunne came out to rescue, who obviously The Miz eliminated when The Miz was already eliminated. He caused Pete Dunne to be eliminated from behind. I said eliminated a lot there. But yeah, then the numbers game got up on Pete Dunne. He got hit with a Claymore and a Skull Crusher finale, and then Apollo got hit with a Claymore earlier, and then The Miz thought he was all good and friends with Drew. Nope, Drew hits Miz with a headbutt and then a Claymore. So yeah, Drew McIntyre standing tall. Up next, Buddy Murphy was backstage after he laid out another cruiserweight, Akira Tozawa. He said he wants to challenge Ricochet, and as he joined BFW to clean up the mess of a cruiserweight division. Before he could finish the sentence, Roderick Strong out of nowhere brawled with Buddy Murphy, hit him with a chop, sending Buddy Murphy running away, and Roderick Strong, just stand there shouting at him. So then they are confirmed for a match at Armageddon, Buddy Murphy versus Roderick Strong, where the winner will face Cruiserweight Champion Ricochet at WrestleMania. Up next we had Dean Ambrose vs Scott Dawson, where the winner chooses the stipulation for their match at Armageddon for the Raw Tag Team Championships. And a bit of a different match here. Using Scott Dawson in a singles match was kind of weird, and I haven't used Dean in a while in a singles match. Obviously we saw Dean and Seth have their promo confrontation a few earlier in this episode, or earlier in the week if you want to go that way, but whatever. Ambrose hitting a huge lariat onto Scott Dawson, looking for the Dirty Deeds. Rollins jumps on Wilder, hits the Dirty Deeds onto Dawson, and Dean Ambrose picks up the win. Obviously more experience as a single superstar, which is what he said he will take into consideration for choosing the stipulation, as he chose a tornado tag team match, so meaning all members are legal at the same time. Obviously, as him and Seth can't get along as a tag team, maybe their singles wrestling skills will come into it. So tornado tag team match set for Armageddon. Up next, BFW World Heavyweight Champion Aleister Black cut a promo backstage where he challenged Kenny Omega after what Kenny Omega did to him last week, and he said at Armageddon, Kenny Omega will fade to black. And I can inform you now that Kenny Omega did accept the challenge. So at the main event of Armageddon, Aleister Black will defend his title against Kenny Omega. So let me know if you're looking forward to that match. And finally, we are on to the last segment or match of the show. It feels like I've been recording this episode for ages, but stay tuned, I do have an announcement at the end of the show. We had Sanity, who haven't been seen since their tag team title match against Undisputed Era a few months ago on Instagram, taking on the Authors of Pain, who haven't been seen since SummerSlam, I think. I'm not sure. Then Rezar lifting up Eric Young into a powerbomb by Akam. Rezar suplexing Eric Young out the ring, getting hit with a punch. Eric Young looking for a diving elbow into the boot. And then Wolf and Eric Young with the combo with a DDT on the apron. Wolf with the snap German suplex into the elbow, and Sanity pick up a huge win over AOP. But yeah guys, that is all for this episode of This Week in BFW. This was the first one I've actually recorded on my laptop, so let me know if there's any audio issues or anything. I apologise. I just really wanted to do it, but I am going to be taking a break from this series just because, getting it out, being forced to every Sunday, as well as covering all this stuff, because I am starting to do a lot more on Instagram. It is kind of getting frustrating because I have to upload all the pictures to my computer, and it may not sound like a lot, but it is annoying, especially on a Sunday. So this series won't be happening as often. Maybe when I can, if I have any free time, I will. I just really want to focus on the Fed and everything. But be sure to follow me on Instagram at battlefigs_UK to keep up with all the build into the pay-per-views and everything. That's the only way you can really keep up now. So go make an Instagram account if you haven't already. But thank you for watching. Be sure to leave a like. Check out the match card from earlier in the day, which I uploaded. And I'll see you all in the next video.